Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for joining Lockdown Lessons. I'm here today with Benn Hamilton. Hi, Ben.
Hi, Fiona.
Personal trainer. You're going to sort us all out with your healthy eating tips today, I hope.
I'll try my best.
I'm definitely needing them, that's for sure. So you're a personal trainer based in Bishopbriggs, working out of Anytime Fitness. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Tell us a wee bit about how you started in fitness then. Has that always been something that you wanted to do, being a personal trainer, or is it something that's kind of come about due to circumstances?
I wouldn't say it was something I always wanted to do. I think I kind of had, I wasn't really sure when I was younger what I actually wanted to do. And I actually remember I left school in 2011. And I think I originally actually wanted to go into construction. It didn't happen, so I ended up deciding to do something along the lines of other things that I enjoy. So like I always enjoyed like being fit, playing sports, and I decided to go to college and I started off doing sports coaching, and decided that I kind of enjoyed like working with adults, and I found myself quite good at like motivating people, and I enjoyed seeing people kind of improving. So that's what kind of led me down the personal trainer route, and 5 years later, here we are.
Here you are, yeah. So your normal habitat's the gym. How are you coping being in lockdown and not having access to all the equipment?
So yes, it's challenging, but it's kind of forced me to adapt what I do. So I'm not able to see my clients one-to-one, of course. So what I've had to do is adapt and use like Zoom sessions and also do some kind of online training. Never done a video session before. Never really kind of done like online training. I was always face to face, but it's actually something that I'm enjoying so far, and I'm going to look to do more of it after lockdown. So that has been quite a bit of a silver lining in the whole thing for me.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are the same, maybe being quite nervous. I know me personally didn't really like the whole live video thing, but now that I'm actually doing it quite regularly, you do get more comfortable with it. It becomes more normal. So I think the other side of this, we're going to see a lot of people who were scared to do it before and all of a sudden are incorporating it in their kind of daily business with their clients.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I done my first Facebook Live last Friday. My heart was beating through my chest, but once you start doing it, and you know that what you're saying is good advice and it's going to help people, you actually start to enjoy it. I done one last night as well. Felt a bit more comfortable, and now I'm doing my third one. So yeah, the situation definitely has, like, I feel can improve, like it kind of push people to do more stuff online. So now it's not enjoying lockdown, but it has been benefits of it.
Yeah, you're making the most of it anyway. Hi, Susan. So do you have a niche client that you work with? Is there a group of people that you would predominantly sort of attract for personal training?
Yeah, so I tend to work with both male and females who probably are wanting to lose weight, have some sort of body transformation, not a kind of PT. It's like muscle focused and putting people on bodybuilding shows. I purely work with everyday folk who have kids, have busy lives, and need help to lose weight and achieve their goals. So I've had really good success with kind of both middle-aged and younger generations since I've been a PT, but that's kind of what I kind of focus mostly on, is those sort of people.
Okay, and how does that work then? If somebody comes on as a client, are they coming into you and you're obviously accountability partner, and are you giving them dietary advice and kind of exercise plans?
Yeah, of course. So I kind of specialise, well, I was specialising in one-to-one sort of 12-week programmes. So I provide a training programme, a nutrition programme, and a kind of accountability system that's just purely designed to keep people on track. I try and have more passion for helping people during the 23 hours that I don't see them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's not just about the 2 to 3 times I see them per week. It's about me helping them, every day, every minute of the day to try and keep them on track, because that's where the results will really happen.
Yeah. We've got a few people to say hello here too. Karen, Callum, Craig. Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for watching. Now you've got a few tips for us, Ben, haven't you? And you're kind of focusing on the healthy eating side of it, which is something that I must admit I really, really need. It's been so easy just to kind of hide away in lockdown. The only people you're seeing is when you're rushing out to the shops or you're on your daily walk. But the sun's out. Hopefully, if the weather continues like this, it's going to be a nice summer. We want to be out and feeling good about ourselves, not kind of hiding away in the house. And hopefully we're going to be able to do that if, the government lets us. So what's your first tip then for kind of managing what you're eating?
I think the first tip I want to give out to people is to be mindful of the food that they eat during lockdown. I think it's so easy when you're stuck in the house to just eat out of boredom and not really be conscious of the food that you're eating. So try and really be mindful of everything that you do consume, because it might, as soon as you become more conscious, you might not eat as much, chocolate or cakes around the house. So I have to say the first tip is to be more mindful. The second would have to be, I did write these down. I think the second has to be is to find a way of keeping control of your food. So what I always say to my clients is, if you're someone who is really busy and you don't really have time to count all your calories, I definitely recommend doing some sort of like portion control during lockdown. So just quick tip, what I usually say to my clients is, protein, maybe use a palm of your hand. Carbohydrates, maybe use like a fist, and maybe any sort of fats like butters or oils, keep to a teaspoon. So then after that, what I'd recommend is, now this is why I put out the recipe book, is I think people during lockdown need ideas of kind of healthy foods that they can make for the family. I know the takeaways are still open, so I recommend trying not to get in the takeaway, using something like a recipe book. I think you've got the link to my recipe book. You're probably welcome to go and download. So I definitely recommend using a recipe book to, healthy eating doesn't always have to be, plain foods and, like chicken and veg. Like, there's so many, good recipe books out there. And especially in mine, there's ideas on curries and healthy burgers and what kind of healthy fry-ups. So I definitely recommend people to use some sort of like recipe book for ideas. And
you've got that prepared now, available for download for free, haven't you?
Yeah, of course. So if I pinned it to the top of my page, so if people go there, they can download it. And there's plenty of recipes in there, breakfast, lunch, dinner, shopping list that people can use for the whole family to start eating more healthily.
Okay, so if people want to get that just now, we'll attach it at the bottom of the post, a link to where they can download it. But your Facebook page is at Benn Hamilton Fitness, is that right?
That's right.
Yeah, so if people go along to that and have a look at the pinned post, they'll be able to click right in and get that just now. But we will put the link at the bottom, because I think that's really useful for people right now, Ben, just to give them some ideas and some tips and hints.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's one of those things where a lot of people do, are quite narrow-minded when it comes to healthy eating, and it does have to be boring foods, and it does have to be very, very strict and restrictive of carbohydrates, and it really doesn't at all. There's so many good healthy meals, that can be enjoyable. It's really just having more control of the amount of calories that you consume. So I think that was kind of my other tip.
I think the thing is about it is if it's too strict, you can't live your life, and you're not really going to be able to stick to it long term, unless you are somebody who is very controlled and is doing it for a certain goal. If you are going into a competition, or you're really into your fitness, you might have that kind of level of, what's the word, you can be more strict with yourself, and you can control the aspect of your life. But definitely for me, the thought of just eating boring, bland food all the time, it just isn't appealing, and I would just probably go off the rails without that, I think, without having, these good ideas to go with.
Yeah, and that's the thing, food should be enjoyable, and I feel as if people do become more educated in nutrition, and that's what I try and do with my clients, it's purely just an education. It's education that I provide. It's not just a case of, you come to me and you get told what to eat. I feel as if people could do for more education on nutrition, and especially what you said there. I think, when some people diet, they cut out carbs, or they just don't. I can't ever touch a chocolate bar at all, and it doesn't. It's not that way at all. It's just being in more control of the calories, and being more mindful of what you're eating.
I mean, I think I always feel for myself at the start of a diet, I do like to kind of drop a drastic kind of amount in the first week, just so that I feel motivated to keep going. And I think, right, that was a great achievement. So, I mean, I think I tend to kind of just lower my carbohydrate intake, because I think that kind of sheds a lot of water, and it gives me that extra wee boost at the start. And then once you're feeling a little bit slimmer, it's kind of easy to keep it going. So if you got any tips for something that would be healthy rather than cutting out a food group like that, is there any kind of tips for kickstarting the diet in the first week that would give you a kind of decent result?
I don't really think there's a certain diet that could kickstart. I think it's maybe just a wee bit down to trial and error to find what works for you. There's loads of different diets out there, and it really is just more kind of trying to find what works for you in the long term, rather than like you said, cutting out carbs so you get that quick result. It's nice to get it, but at the same time you have to think more in the future, and right, is that something I'm going to be able to stick to 6 months to a year, so you do get the real result. So I'd probably just say to people to maybe try different diets to find what works for them, and be consistent with it, because the more consistent you are, the more you'll stick to it, and the more your motivation will stay with you as well.
Okay, we've got some more comments here. I'm just going to run through them. Do you have any healthy cake recipes from Karen? So is that more that you can have cake, but only in moderation, as long as you're allowing yourself to have a certain amount at a certain time? Or is it better to go for something that is low fat, low sugar?
So if you are going to go down, I mean, we all love a cake. So I think, like you said, probably moderation. If you have a cake every now and then, it's not going to do anything to your results. I think what the problem people have is, they have fast cake hands. So one will usually lead to something else, and they kind of lose control of their appetite. I don't have any recipes for healthy cakes. I just wouldn't beat yourself up if you do have a cake. I hope that answers that question. Okay.
And another comment. My neighbour just handed me in a cream horn. Help. So somebody's watching. Susan's watching, eating a cream horn. So sorry, I interrupted you, Ben. You were heading to, was it tip number 3?
I think I already gave tip number 3. I think that the last kind of tip I'd probably give people is just my Facebook Live last night. It's just with just be careful with alcohol as well. Alcohol does lower inhibitions around food, and will probably lean you towards eating foods that you probably shouldn't eat. So I think if I gave all the tips, yep. So
let's recap through them again then. So number one was about mindset, really.
Yeah.
And I think
number one, the most important is being mindful of the food that you eat. And, you know, if you are more mindful, it should help stop you kind of eating out of boredom. Secondly is to try and have some sort of control over your calories. So that's why I was saying that obviously counting calories is great if you can do it, but I appreciate that not everyone does want to count their calories, you know, especially the people I work with who have got families, have got jobs, and it's quite time consuming. So I definitely think tip number two is to find some way to get control of your calories. That's why I was talking about the kind of portion control. I do have another page kind of document, so I can attach that as well for people if they do want some information on portion control. And tip number three is to be careful around the trigger food. So the person who asked the cake question, just be careful when you do have these foods, because what you find is that if you're not mindful, you can probably consume a lot of calories with them, because they're called what I like called trigger foods. So it's the same as like nighttime when you have that one wee biscuit, it can usually lead to the whole packet. All right. Try and just be careful with trigger foods. For number four, I'd probably say I would use something along the lines of a recipe book. So again, that's why I put out the Facebook link for everyone to have a recipe book, and you know, use that for the whole family. Obviously not just yourself. That's kind of why I created it, is so that you and your husband, kids, you know, you can all enjoy food together and eat more healthily, rather than, you know, going towards the kind of processed stuff.
Yeah, and there's nothing worse than cooking multiple meals for different people in the house. You know, if you can really get that all done in a winner, it just saves people so much time, and they're going to be much more likely to stick to a diet. So that's a really important one, I think.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's tip number four, is to try and stay away from more kind of the processed stuff. So it links in with the recipe book, you know, for example, like a Friday or a Saturday night, rather than going to the local takeaway, you know, maybe using something like a recipe book, you know, cooking a nice curry for the whole family that way, keeps the calories down, more nutrient, you'll get more nutrients from it. And I think it will just be more enjoyable for people. So definitely try and eat more fresh foods, and you'll definitely get that from a recipe book. So that was tip number four, and tip number five is just be careful with alcohol. I did my Facebook Live with it yesterday, because obviously we're in lockdown, and it's quite easy just to go and drink more wine. And obviously the big one in Scotland is, you know, the sun is out and the weather's good, which is going to make it more likely for people to want to drink. And comes the risk of, when you drink, you tend to want to eat foods that you probably shouldn't eat. So just be careful with alcohol in this time if you're wanting to eat healthily at the same time.
And what about if you were going to drink alcohol, what kind of suggestions would you have for lower calorie options?
So if people are wanting to drink, which by the way, of course, like, you know, I want to make it clear that you can still, you know, lose weight and drink alcohol, but there's probably certain types of alcohol that are probably better. So for example, gin, low calorie mixers, vodka, brandy, more kind of spirit based. Right. I think the big problem is that, and this is what I say to a lot of my clients and people in the gym, is, you know, beer and wine and cocktails, you know, these things are so high in calories. I don't really think people appreciate how high in calories they are and how much it can ruin their progress. So definitely tap into the gin the gym cupboard more to keep the calories down.
Okay, great. Now you are just about to launch a Facebook group, and it's a fitness kind of community, isn't it?
Yeah, so something else I'm going to do for people is I'm going to be doing a 7-day free fitness challenge. I'm doing it kind of male and female separate. So this week is going to be for men. It's completely free. It will be myself doing 7 30-minute bodyweight workouts Monday to Sunday. I'll be providing nutritional information for people to get started, kind of with the stuff we've talked about in a live video. I'll be doing live check-ins so people can come and ask me questions with what they're struggling with, and also being in a community where, you know, there's other people who are trying to get better as well. So the first one will be a men's one, and then follow that I'll do a female one.
Okay, and is the group, have you got a link to the group ready at the moment then?
Yes, of course. So on my Facebook page as well, I think I did a post on it yesterday, so you might have to scroll down a wee bit, but there will be a link to the page, and if you come along and take part, and especially, you know, if you are looking for a bit of motivation and you need a wee bit of advice, you know, this definitely will help get you kick-started.
Good. And it's all stuff that can be done in the house with what things that are presumably around about the house? Yeah,
so the reason why I did it as well was because I've been in contact with a lot of people who have been messaging me, you know, who are struggling, and they say that they're not sure what to do because they don't have any equipment. I think a lot of people at the moment are looking on Instagram and Facebook and seeing all these home workouts, people with, you know, kettlebells, dumbbells, and, you know, more people don't have this kind of stuff around their house, not as much as even a resistance band. So this is what kind of brought me to provide the challenge for people, because it will just be bodyweight. It will just be bodyweight only. It will be with household items that everyone will have, for example, like tins of beans, towels, the side of the couch, you know, and, you know, we give people good workouts and no equipment required.
Sounds great. So if people can't tune in to your daily live as it's going, they'll be able to watch that later and just make sure they get their workout in.
Yeah, a lot of people have said, you know, what time will it be, and what I've said is I'll be doing the workouts probably in the morning, but the video will stay in the group. So the aim is just to do the workout each day, whatever time you can. So it doesn't have to be when I do it.
Brilliant. Okay, so to join that, then, if they go to your page at Benn Hamilton Fitness, they'll find a link to the group.
Yeah, there'll be a link to the group. You'll just have to answer some questions, and that will be you. And there's nothing too complicated about it. It's purely just a group where I'll be providing workouts, nutritional information, and I'll be doing, you know, kind of check-ins every couple of days so people can come and ask me questions and pick my brain, and get information.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's absolutely fantastic. Thanks very much, Ben. Thanks for coming on. It's been a very popular lesson, this one. We've had loads and loads of comments. You can go and have a wee look at them once we get finished. Anybody watching later on, thanks for tuning in, and you will find the links to Ben's page and also his Facebook group, plus your free recipe book. We'll put all that under the post just now.
Yeah, I definitely recommend everyone to watch it, to download the recipe book, because you will find a lot of tasty meals that, you know, you can enjoy with a family, you know, and not be restrictive and not hate being on a diet. You know, try and enjoy your food while you've got a goal.
Okay. Well, that's great. Thanks very much, Ben. Thanks for giving up a Sunday afternoon.
No, not at all. I'm not getting anything else on anyway.
Well, hopefully it won't be like that for not much longer. And next week you'll be busy with your new Facebook group. So I'm a bit disappointed it's not available for females yet, but that's in the pipeline, isn't it?
Yeah. So don't get me wrong. I mean, I will be doing one for females. This for myself is just a bit of trial and error because I've always worked with both men and women. So I want to do something specifically for men, and I'm going to be doing something specifically for women. So that will probably be the following week. So I'll make sure to give people links in your page, and they can come and take part in that one as well. In the meantime, I do have other workouts on my page that are bodyweight only, so females can go and use that one in the meantime if they like.
Okay, and we've had a couple of comments here from guys that are looking to join, I think Craig and Callum, and I know that Callum has his own restaurant and he makes a lot of beautiful cakes. You see them on his page, so he put a comment earlier, I think he's looking to get toned up, so I'm sure you'll get a couple of people joining from here anyway, definitely, Ben.
Yep, 100%. I'd also encourage people who are joining to invite people to the page, so maybe like their pals, their brothers, members of their family, to get involved. I really want to try and get as many people as I can, and help as many people I can during a situation, because I know at times are tough, and I feel as if people do exercise more and do have a goal, it can really help them during this time.
Yeah. As you do feel better for it once you get started, and I think having that kind of community feels really going to help so many people. They'll feel that, you know, I'm going to go and check, I've done my exercise, I'm going to go and check who else has done it, and it's just a kind of feel good thing, isn't it? It gives you a bit of motivation to keep going.
100%. The community is vital. I feel as if when people are part of a community and there is support, they've got much more chance of achieving success rather than going at it alone.
Okay, well, thanks again, Ben. You've been such a popular guest. It's been great. We'll go and get all the links put up, and thanks to everybody who's watched. Please head over to Ben's Facebook page. I'll let you know again, it's at Benn Hamilton Fitness. Give him a like, join his group, and thanks very much for coming on, Ben.
No, not at all. Thank you for having me. Hope I answered the questions. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. Really worthwhile, really useful. Thank you. So
no worries.
Go and enjoy the rest of the day now. Thanks.
No worries. Bye.
Cheers then. Bye.
Bye.